can't do's, the doubts, and the discouragement. I should have put the won't do's as well, but that'll do. The can't do, the can't do's, the doubts, and the discouragement. For anybody that understands or has some type of understanding just from reading that title, you just know that I'm coming from, you got to stay away from those. You have to stay away from those. You have to stay away from the can't do's, the doubts, and the discouragements. The won't do's, the will nots, you know what I'm saying? The biggest one is I can't do, you know what I mean? That's the, all of them are big equally, but you get what I mean. I feel like it's been long overdue. I mean, of course, you've heard plenty of, speakers and motivational speakers and all kind of people speak on this topic when it comes to, you can say the human race as a whole, or, boom, just speaking from my perspective, just our black community. Like it's very imperative. Like it's as you can see, like here we are in 2025, and yeah, the motion is I could say the motion is getting there as far as pushing the 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 narrative of, hey, we need to do for self, we need to do for self. It's just not enough of us pushing that, man. It's not enough people pushing that or jumping on that wave, not making that popular. Getting back to the basics, like instead of chasing all these labels and trying to keep up with the Joneses and shit like that. It's like, man, that ain't doing nothing for us, man. That ain't doing nothing for us. Like, of course, for the ones that are doing things, hey, I'm not talking to you. I'm trying to spark even one person to, hey, look at their self, or look at their surroundings, look at their situation, and being like, hey, man, I would like to actually get past the talk, get past the talking about it, the theatrics, the emotional ass speeches, and that's why I say the theatrics, because it's like I've come to the conclusion as I've gotten older, and you see this growing up. People are very good at having the mic. People are very good at having the mic, being on stage, and what have you. Type shit, you know what I mean? Like, and to go further than that. Like, basically, what I'm meaning by good at having the mic, being on stage. You know what I'm saying? It's in a way, it's like entertainment. You know what I mean? It's for us to be speaking about, say, an issue, right? You speak about an issue, and motherfuckers that have like all kind of brilliant ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, you know what I mean? It had a whole congregation, riled up, clapping and rooting for you, cause you lit the fire in the building. You speaking some hot shit. You know what I mean? Like. And then soon as you go out of that room, soon as they, you know what I mean, boom, the meeting is over and what have you, that dies down. Like, it dies down. It may not die down for everybody in that room, but as a collective, the whole room, that whole movement dies down. the whole movement dies down. And, from what I'm saying, boom, from my title of this live, can't do's, the doubts and the discouragements, and like I said, I should have put won't do as well. That room would be filled up with those. That room would be filled up with those. Filled up with the can't do's, the doubts, the doubters, you know what I mean, the discouragers, the won't do's, with the will nots, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll just be filled up with all kind of cheerleaders and haters. You know what I'm saying? Cheerleaders and haters. And my point of the matter of speaking on this is that when you have a person, boom, say you a can't do or you a doubting person, and you disappointed in how your life going, how your life been going, or done went or what have you, because that's time ticks, boom, more opportunities, doors close, right? Like you ain't able to live out your dream of being a ball player or whatever it is that you had on your list. Time ticks away, boom, different doors close. Okay, and then you have ones around you, say, of course, the youth. You'll have younger loved ones around you, or what have you. Even when y'all's younger, I'm gonna start from the beginning. When you younger, and because you hear this a lot from our elders now, you hear this a lot from our elders now that they reaching in their bag of atonement, like, oh, we wasn't even on that type of time. We had to deal with this. We had to deal with that. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. And it's not even on no blame game or, shooting slander towards your way or what have you. But if you wasn't on that type of time then, I don't expect you to be on that type of time even as an elder. And then being that you ain't on that type of time, you should be in support. And it's not even about the elders either, it's just peers, period. I'm not even labeling highlighting the age, a specific age. This should be in everyone's approach to each one, to each other. Everyone's approach to each other. This should be this approach. You know what I mean? Where, oh man, you know what I mean? Boom, I see you got something in motion, like, first they spoke it to you and you gave them no play. You thought it was just blowing hot air. How many of you can relate to this? Like I've had to learn over the years that, I keep my shit to myself. I keep my shit to myself. I don't volunteer no information, which, it's a whole different ball game in the streets. I've been already groomed that way, so it wasn't hard to step into, say, entrepreneurship and have those kind of traits, because I'm already like that. I'm a private person, you know what I mean? I'm not going to volunteer shit anyway. I don't got the gift of gab anyway. I don't sit here and just run, you know what I mean? Tell my business. But anyway, boom, I had to learn that everybody ain't going to go, like, everybody ain't going to see your vision. You know what I mean? That's just coming from an entrepreneur, mindset. Whatever it is you doing, from your clothing lines to your food trucks to your, you know what I mean? Maybe you got a new prototype for, like, see, I just be trying to spark somebody, like, hey, look out of the box. We don't have to keep doing the cliche shit. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to make a sneaker. You don't have to make a you know what I mean? A cake company and shit like that. Like, there's drywall, there's doorknobs, there's panels, there. You know what I mean? There's like all kind of shit. There's soil companies. There's roofing companies. I'm talking about the supplies. Like, you don't have to get on no roof with no harness and none of that. But that's a whole nother topic as well for me. Like, we need to spark, our people to actually want to even do those jobs. I've done it. I love doing construction. I ain't got no problem being up 60 feet in the air. I don't got no problem with none of that shit. As a matter of fact, as long as I've done it, as long as I've done it for 20 plus years. Demolition, you know what I'm saying? Demolition, I rarely seen any of us. And you think that made me feel away? Most definitely. From day one, from year one, I noticed that. Like, oh, okay. And then when you try to bring different ones in, you know what I'm saying? You try to bring different ones in, it'd be a lot of different barriers which a lot of it stems from just comfort. They got too comfortable in the bullshit. You know what I mean? Oh, I ain't trying to work with my hands. I ain't trying to labor. I ain't trying to, and it's like, so you rather risk your life doing the dumb shit out there in the streets, or you trying to get a fast buck or what have you, instead of honest living, using the honest living check to actually build up something that you do want to do. That ain't fast enough. They don't see the vision in that. They don't see the vision in that. They're like, that's you, man. I ain't about to get up on nobody's roof. I ain't about to, you know what I mean, dig no trench. I ain't about to get into no plumbing. I'm not about to do none of that. Like, and that's sad, right? That's horrible. A lot of cats don't even know how to change a tire. But, be talking switch this, you know what I mean? I got, like it's crazy to me. I really don't. I've noticed this years ago, and I that's why I had to detach my way. I had to remove myself away from it. I had to remove. You even notice these traits even in the streets. You notice these traits in sports. You notice these traits in everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you often say you'll be I always call it the golden goose. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we don't even be knowing we're the golden goose because, you around a bunch of can't do's, won't do's, and doubters and discouragers. You know what I mean? So, it starts rubbing off on you. Like, basically you ain't shining. You ain't shining the way you need to be shining because you around a bunch of just dark shit. You around a bunch of motherfuckers that they might even see that you shine, but they ain't gonna let you know. They ain't gonna let you know, which is horrible. That's sad to me. You literally have a whole golden goose around you. You know what I mean? You literally have a whole golden goose around you, and you won't even support him. You won't make sure he's taken care of. Back in the day, that's how it used to be with, like, say, your ball players and shit like that. That's why I always tell my son or anybody, that's willing to listen, there's plenty of fucking Jordans, Kobe's, Kyrie's. There's plenty of Marshawn Lynch's. There's plenty of, you know what I mean, Warren Sapps, all that shit. It's like, that comes, this is just something we do just naturally. Travis Hunters, you know what I'm saying? There's so many of us, And then on the women's side, you know what I mean? Serena, Venus, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, there's like so many. That's natural. Sha'Carri Richardson's, you know what I'm saying? There's like so many of us, you know what I'm saying? There's so many of it, and it doesn't even stop there. It's not even just sports. Like, it's so many doctors, there's so many engineers, you know what I'm saying? And for them to actually be that, they have to actually be allowed to tap into that, though. They gotta actually be allowed to tap into that. Not on no fake love, and I don't know what I'm gonna get, you know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna get. Like, man, the whole family would be taken care of if you know what I'm saying, if we all just stay, play our role. stay in line and play our role. Especially you can't dudes, you doubters. You know what I'm saying? You motherfuckers that ain't bringing nothing to the table. Like we come up to the table and you ain't got nothing bringing up to the table, but somebody that do, you hating on them and you know giggling and that ain't gonna work and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? How we gonna do that? You know what I mean? And it's like damn, first off, the biggest hurdle, they don't even understand the biggest hurdle. The biggest hurdle is just beginning, just starting it. When you talk to somebody that actually does things, they'll tell you that they've done it and failed I don't know how many times. And that still didn't discourage them. That still didn't deter them from, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? And that's even on the negative side of the game. A lot of cats can relate to this. More so on the negative side of the game, that's when, you know what I mean, you start transferring that energy of your, you know what I mean, you go all out, you go get it in the, you know, spirit. You transfer that to the positive, like boom, now I'm gonna do legal business. I'm gonna do it, you know what I mean? I can transfer that same know-how, that same go get it energy and put it into something positive. And they often do. Cause they even knew when they was doing the bad shit, they had the can't do's and the doubters and the discouragers. One thing that people don't understand is, or people don't really highlight is with the can't do's and the doubters and shit, with, you know what I mean, the naysayers and all that. It's not even in they don't have a bone in their body that is that'll be like, I can do that, or I will do that, or make it come to pass. They hand you a tangible, you know, they hand you an actual prototype of their thought, because that's at first it becomes a thought, right? Then we might put it on paper, and then boom, you know, you keep, you know, for all my people that are entrepreneurs, like, yeah, you know what I mean? You don't stop there. It ain't just a talk. They're just talking. It's the same thing with the streets or any of that shit. You run into a lot of those. A lot of the, I'm just talking. I'm just talking. We just talking. You know, and it'll be convincing. It's theatrical. That's what I'm saying. It's like they're great on the mic. You know what I mean? Great on the fucking stage, but you know, past that, yeah, it's dead weight. Past that, it dies out. They got the whole congregation, you know, booming. Motherfuckers is like ready. And most of them are exactly like that. We just chew up theatrics and shit. Chew up, you know what I mean? Sounds good shit. But you'll have one or two, you'll have a handful maybe. You know what I'm saying? Not many. You'll have a few in that room with you that are, yeah, they might not be the most popular, they might not be the most, you know what I'm saying? You know, have the most charisma, you know what I mean? Most, you know what I'm saying? The sexy shit, the attractive shit. But one thing for sure is that person is all about motion. That person is all about, you know, getting to it. And you already know, you already heard about it. You heard about their bad shit. He wasn't one to just talk about it. He went all the way. He went all the way. He goes all the way. She goes all the way. And you on the sideline, you'll be just, you know what I mean? Boom, you see them clean themselves up. They become successful. And you still on your can't do shit. You still on your doubt and shit. So bad that now that they successful, you have a handout to them. You got your hand out to them. You know what I mean? And you still on some hating shit towards them. Like, how does that work? One hand out with one hand behind your back. How does that work? Like, that shit needs to stop, man. Like, it made me think of one of the things we used to say in the '90s, and I know motherfuckers remember this. They used to be like, he think he all that, she thinks she all that, and it's like it's one thing when it's just playing, but it's like, especially if somebody is like, you see they about they bi, they about they shit, and they might laugh it off or what have you, and then boom, they still break it to you with the seriousness, and you still on some, that spirit, that whole, giggling ass, play ass, you know what I mean? Like you're not even about nothing. You just, you know what I mean? You say sweet nothings. You're about theatrics. You're not even about nothing. You step out, in your flyest garments, you got a vehicle that you behind on. Like, I learned all this shit growing up, man. And I don't want nobody to get this twisted on the side note. I don't want nobody to get this twisted on the side note. The other groups, because I'm speaking about my people, Black Americans. The other groups, they go through this bullshit as well, if not more. But you want to know the difference between the other groups and us is they have their little buffers, little things, because they run institutions. So yeah, through all the degenerate shit and the stagnant behavior and the non-productive bullshit that they got going on, they'll have the institutions that'll take the blow for them. Like it doesn't even, you get what I'm saying? It doesn't even crack the foundation. It becomes to do that because once the degenerates get into those seats, which as you can see, that's what's happening now. Once the degenerates get into those seats and they don't even have the bone in the body to run shit correctly. You know what I mean? They never have. It was the inevitable for all this to happen. But I don't want to go down that tangent. All I'm saying is this ain't no just me speaking, at or down at my people. Like this is, I'm meaning for this to reach somebody, even if it's just 1 in 99. Say fuck that nigga. Fuck that bitch ass nigga. What this nigga talking about? I won't even give a fuck. Even if it reaches none, I just need to put it out there because this is what burns in my spirit. You know what I mean? I dealt with it even when I was younger, in the streets. I used to do a lot of shit dolo. A lot of shit dolo for that reason. And then you pop back up, and niggas is like, where you been? Oh, that's dope, right? And they're like, oh man, what up, nigga? I'm trying to get on, they jump back on your dick, and it's like, you know what I mean? I done already conditioned myself to not even allow you to even not even allow me to be accessible to you. You know what I mean? I look at the can't do's and the won't do's and the doubters and the haters, all that shit. I look at them as, man, I ain't even gonna let you access me. You know what I'm saying? I love, even if it'd be an ace, it'd be your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? I gotta keep you at a distance. I love you from a distance. I pray for you, man. Even if it ain't reciprocated, even if it ain't reciprocal, like you ain't praying for me, you wishing for my downfall, whatever it is. You talking about me like a dog in the street, whatever it is, man. Like, hey, you know what I mean? I keep you in prayer. I keep you in prayer. This is facts. And who taught me that? Who taught me that is my, you know what I mean? My grandmother, my mother. People that I've seen take hit after hit. You know what I mean? Take. You know what I mean? Blow after blow. Get right back up. You know what I'm saying? Get right back up. Keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like that's. You really can't even teach that through words. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna lie to you. You really can't even teach that through words, man. You really can't even teach that through words. Like where you're not letting things just chip away at you to where you just, you know what I mean, throw in the towel. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about my people I commend, and like we just can't stop at there. We just can't stop there. Yeah, we resilient. Yes, most definitely. Niggas is relentless. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, I understand that. You just can't stop there though. You know what I mean? That ain't the top of the mountain. That's not the top of the hill. You keep going. You keep going off of that. You build off of that. You get what I'm saying? Anybody that work out, you know that the hardest part is beginning. The hardest part is just starting your routine, starting your regimen. That's the hardest part. Because once you start, you're gonna start holding yourself accountable every day that you ain't doing it. Because you felt good after that beginning, after that start. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, oh man, that's a whole nother me. You know, you're already looking at yourself in the mirror. You know, you're already, trying to throw away different shirts. Convincing yourself that you busting out of this shirt, or you know what I mean, your legs is toned up, whatever it is that you're working on. Like, you're already, it's working. The psychological game is working. And that same psychological game needs to be applied to, as far as growth, building with your brother, with your sister, you know what I'm saying? And like this live that I'm talking about, like I titled it, Can't Do's, the Doubters, and the Discouragers. The won't do's, the will nots, you know what I mean? All them, the haters, the naysayers, all that, the sideline motherfuckers. Like, what they need to understand is to stand down and stand up for the motherfuckers that are the can do's, the go getters, you know what I'm saying? The riskers, the risk takers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be more of that, as opposed to, okay, you realize that you don't have a bone in your body that'll allow you to do this, jump that hurdle, but you literally are standing by. That's your brother or your sister or your uncle or your auntie or whatever that will jump that hurdle. You've seen them jump that hurdle like a million fucking times, and you ain't even trying to be in position to uplift them. And I only use hurdle as a metaphor, as an analogy, you know what I mean? Like, apply that to other things where, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, man, let's back them. Let's back them. A lot of backing doesn't have to be funding. A lot of backing has zero to do with money. Just sitting down and being an ear to the person, letting them, pick their brain. Let them pick your brain. Like, y'all build. Like, they would love input. They would love criticisms. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we good at having the culture of jonesing and ranking on each other and all that. Apply that shit to, actual productiveness, though. Actual things that, will build and benefit the community. You know what I mean? Be playful with it. You don't even have to. It's plenty of different personalities. A lot of us know that. I'm one that I'm not very overly playful. This is what my point of even saying this talking about this. It's like, when it comes to me bringing up, like, hey man, I seen this laundromat that I'm on. They talking about 10 racks. You know what I mean? They talking about 10 racks. Boom, we get in there. Now we got a laundromat. You go to spit that type of game too. Who you think is your loved one. You know what I mean? They looking at you like it's not attainable. They looking at you like you out of your rabbit ass mind, correct? And to me, I don't know about you, but it makes me remove myself from you, which is very, very disheartening. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It hurts you. It hurts me. It hurts me. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It makes you remove yourself away from that energy. It makes you remove yourself away from that energy. And that's why the running narrative is how they be saying black people don't work together. Black people don't, you know what I mean, can't come together to be on the same page and, different things like that. And it's like, I am not discouraged by that slander. You know what I'm saying? I'm not discouraged by that. Me, I remove myself from you, love you from a distance, and then I'll show you better than I can tell you. Now, hopefully when I come back through that door, we sit back at that table. When we sit down at that table, you are more motivated. You know what I mean? You're motivated to actually let's get in position. You know, you're not just dead weight. You wasn't just, because look, you got to understand, even for me to come to you about that, I had to have had something feed that, you know what I mean? I don't like to call it trust, because but we're going to call it trust because I don't believe in trust with man or woman, with flesh. I don't believe in trust with that. But, like it had to have been something for me to be like, I value you enough to bring this to the table. You see what I mean? So that means, boom, we must have had conversations in the past, and damn man, because what people don't understand, is most of the can't do's and the doubters and the haters and all that, they'll sit and talk your ear off about with some brilliant plan, like Pinky in the Brain type shit. They'll sit and talk your fucking ear off with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll have drawings, all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, a million apps, a million, somebody else's product. You know what I mean? A million of it, and it'd be cool, right? It'd be convincing. It'd be super convincing. And it's your loved ones, so you ain't trying to pop their bubble. You know what I mean? You're not trying to. This is actually when you learn this what I'm talking about. This is when you learn that. Oh, that was just a nothing burger. That, you know what I mean? That was nothing. Because once you actually put in motion, you'll see the doubt, you'll see the hate, you'll see the I can't do. And it's like, whoa, I thought you was the, you know what I mean? I thought this is what you had in mind. I thought this is what you, they get tangled up in emotions and shit. They get, you know what I mean? They get stagnant right there. And then what that do? That takes us all the way down. That brings us down. Instead of us moving forward, pushing across the line, pushing forward, that energy right there bring you down. That brings you down, and then now, boom, now we got to concentrate on building right back up to guess where? That last issue that brought you down. And that'll be you don't know how many times you'll do that before you actually go across the line. That right there is not okay. And it was all cultivated, curated by a can't do and a won't, a doubter, a discourager. They're disappointed in their motion, lack of motion. They're disappointed in their, you know what I mean, their lackluster performance, their mediocre, you know what I mean, performance. So they, you know what I mean? So they project it onto you. They take their washcloth and wipe your face with it. Like, man, fuck all that. You get the fuck away from me with all that. Like I rather try and fail than to be one to just sit and just talk and not even try at all. I'd rather be a try and failer. You know what I mean? Somebody that tries and learns from it and come back to the drawing board. Come back. You know what I mean? Strengthen. Like I can tell you one thing that I live by is I'm not motivated off of wins. I'm motivated off of improvement. Improvement. Wins, they come when you are about improvement. Just like when you actually build or begin, you know what I'm saying? Money will come as long as you stay on your, you know what I mean? You stay on your track, on your path of improving, sharpening. Sticking to the script of progress, sticking to the script of, what was your original meaning behind starting, behind beginning this, behind, you know what I mean? When you stick to that, all that other shit just falls into place in abundance. The Most High tells us about that. You know, when he speaks of, you know, obeying the commandments, obeying God's laws, obeying his laws, like that's what he speaks on. Like, hey man, all I'm asking you is to acknowledge me in every way. That's all I'm asking you to do. I'm even giving you forgiveness, you know, for any of the, you know what I mean? The you know what I mean? The disrespect to yourself and me. I'm even giving you the leeway to bump your head. I'm giving you the leeway. I even got a cushion for you when you fall. I got a cushion for you right here when you fall. I'm right here. But I don't want you to, you know what I mean? Like, and boom, I ain't gonna keep going down that whole rant, but you know, boom, back to my take on it is, you know, when you have the doubters and the can't do's and all that, it's a poison, man. It's a poison. And from my experience, you know, I don't know, I can't speak for everybody's bloodline, you know, everybody's family tree or what have you. We'll have different ones in our family that'll do things that nobody else has done, you know, like get into politics, you know, actually position themselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's major. That's major. Like I commend that. Like it's definitely fire. It's love. Now, the reality of it, everybody ain't in support of it directly. Like, boom, I could say that I'm one that loves it from a distance, and it's mainly purely of because I'm on my own motion. I don't allow anything to penetrate my motion, my, you know what I mean, ecosystem, just based on my upbringing. You know what I mean? You learn from it. You see it as a little boy or a little girl. You see it. You see it, you know, within your family, the different poisons. Yeah, y'all laugh, kiki and kaka at the functions, at the dinners, at the, you know what I mean, at the barbecues and all that. But you also see the dysfunction, the bullshit. The bullshit. So you're like, oh. And you notice it'll be, you know, as you get older, you start noticing like this one and that one, they wasn't about nothing. They wasn't even about shit. You know, when you're little, you can't really see it. They wasn't about shit. Yeah, they got their hair lined up. Yeah, they got their hair done, you know what I mean? All this shit, looking nice. But they really wasn't about shit, you know? I could say growing up, this was common hearing my elders talk about this one and that one got a good job at this place, a good job at that place. And that's all commendable, you know what I mean? That's all fine and dandy for a moment, man. I'm only speaking on this because it's, to me, it's very important. Okay, we don't stop there. Okay, boom. We got people in there. We got people in there. They've been there for what, 30, 40 years or whatever. Okay, you got such and such in there. Okay, you know what I mean? You got him a good gig or whatever. We can't stop there, though. We cannot stop there, man. We cannot stop there. Like, run that shit. Build your own. Take the knowledge that you learned all them years and build your own. That sounds too hard, right? That's the can't do's. That's like, oh man, well, you need this, you need that. Oh, we need, you know, $1 million insurance policy. You need, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know. I know. Like, I'll be able to tell you what it takes to do it. I understand that. You have to start somewhere. I know you're wanting to just come out the gate. See, that's a fable. That's a myth. That's a fucking, that's that dream work bullshit where people think that you make up some brilliant idea and, you know, you just gonna flood the block with it. People were just gonna come out of the woodworks for it. You know what I mean? It's just gonna fly off the shelves or whatever. And if it don't pop, if it don't crack in the first day or the first week or month, he ain't about nothing. You know what I mean? You got people around you that'll just shoot it down like, that ain't about nothing. Knowing damn well they ain't putting they ain't got no motion together at all. Know who they got motion for? They got motion for the others. They got motion for they go to Habib, they go to the Arab spot every fucking day. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, the Arab done seen 3 generations come through his doors. You know what I'm saying? The Chinaman done seen 3 generations come through his fucking doors. His corner store, that corner store is booming. He done seen 3 generations come through that motherfucker. Your grandpop, your father, and your son. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. And all we be worrying about is, I'm trying to get up in you know what I mean? In that warehouse. They hiring. It's cool for temporary, like use the monies to build your own. But if you ain't even on that, you see what I mean? If you ain't even on that, it's like, what we doing? I can't be around you. We're not the same. We're not the same. I done had many of those warehouse jobs. I'll go get one just to get a paycheck to supply something. Ain't that something? Many hustlers know about that type of move. Go get a quick fast food job, run the little drive-through real quick, you know what I mean? Get a couple paychecks and get the fuck up out. Now you back in motion. Like, it's just, we're not the same. And then my point is, it's not to shoot down nobody that's not like that. It's about, if you're not like that, you should be, the least you can do is support the person that is. Like, let's not make it popular that they got to go grab a pack. They got to do some illegal activity just to, you know, exert their potential. Because that potential can be transferred to something that actually boom, that is actually legal, if that makes sense. But they don't have the support. They don't be having the support, you know what I'm saying? They don't be having the, you know, like I said, the support, it's not all about funding and money. It's not all about you handing over somebody a bag of cash. It's not about that. It's about, hey, man, I see something in you. I see something in you, sister. I see something in you, bruh. You know, like, that's major. You going places, man, whatever you need to talk, man, hit my line. Like, these things is big. They're important. And, of course, you know, you should be doing that for the youth. You know, you should be doing that for the youth. Make real shit, reality popular. Like, stop pretending like once those glory years or those years as the youth, when they're, you know what I mean, just bullshitting, you know, wake up, sleep, you know what I mean, they still healthy, you know, they eat, sleep, shit, you know, run the streets, whatever. Let's not pretend like this world ain't waiting for them. Let's not pretend, stop pretending that. Stop pretending that shit, man. That this world ain't waiting for them, because it was waiting for you and you wasn't ready. Now you in the can't do line, you get what I'm saying? As time ticked away, you in the can't do line, you in the won't do line. And you don't wanna be no sour ass nigga or sour ass bitch that you know, okay, being that you forfeited your position, your opportunities and shit, now you're gonna look at the ones that actually have it, they have it, you know, because the ones that seen you had it, they ain't do this for you either. So, you know what I mean? The shit just becomes a perpetual cycle of, I forfeited my opportunity, so I'm going to keep my jewels to myself. He think he all that. Motherfuckers be hating on teenagers. Grown-ass men be hating on the youth. That's crazy to me. Old-ass bitches be hating on young ladies. That's crazy to me. Knowing damn well you done fucked up, rose up, fucked up, you know, bumped your head, picked yourself up, bumped your head, picked yourself back up, like umpteen fucking times, and you can just give them the game, and they won't even have to go through them 100 times of fucking up. We could just get it popping off top for them, because you already know what you did wrong. You could just get it cracking off top for them. But you got a problem with their mom. You got a problem with their father. You know what I mean? It'd be a lot of just nothings that hold people back. Nothing ass shit that be holding people back. Straight up, just you know what I mean? Dead weight. You want to hold a grudge, and you want to, you know what I mean? Like, man, let's get back to the bigger picture, man. Let's get back to the bigger picture. Let's come to the table, talk this shit the fuck out. You know what I mean? You can cuss me out, I cuss you the fuck out. Hey, but let's keep it, you know what I mean? Uniform to the where we understand, hey, we got to get back to the chicken. We got to get back to the common goal. Because like I said, the other groups, yeah, they'll have this fuck shit go on. They'll have the fuck shit go on. But one thing that makes the difference in them and us is that they'll have a buffer. Like to where the fuck shit doesn't stop their motion of what's going on. What happens with their stop of motion is how they treat us. You know, that's a whole nother topic. Like I said, that's a spiritual war. You know what I mean? Nature will get them. You know what I mean? All kind of shit. But with us, it just be on some like just pure, I won't do. You be surrounded by a bunch of I won't do's. That's too hard. You know, oh man, how we gonna, you know, all that. Like, get that fucking shit away from me. And if you is like that, and if you gonna be around me, and if you is like that, keep that shit in your heart and transfer that to, hey, I see that you actually are one to get your feet wet. You know, you get in the mud. I see that you actually handed me over a prototype. You handed me over a business plan. Like, damn, you got an appointment when to go talk to who? You going to walk wetland? Like, be supportive of that shit. Be supportive of that shit, man. Instead of hearing it and then you go further into your discouragement. You go further into your can't do. To the point where now you're trying to smother me with your can't do and shit. You're trying to smother, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, what we gonna do when we get there? It's like, damn, we're walking the land. We're surveying the land. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the first step. Like, calm down. The fuck you mean? Why are you coming with that energy? Matter of fact, please stay here. I'll be back. See what I mean? Like, that's what ends up happening. You end up having to be like, I'll be back. And then you have this running narrative for generations that black people get money and they don't want to come back to the hood. And it's like, in a way, you got to understand both sides of that. You got motherfuckers that'll come back, and you got to understand that they got whole nother issues now. They dealing with issues of trying to stay grounded. They successful now, so they actually want to get grounded, meaning grounded being around their people, because they're around foreign shit now. They're around shit that ain't their people. So they will want to get grounded. They come back trying to get grounded, and all they going to get is, you know, first day will be, or first hour will be fake love, and then the second hour will be hand out, like, what you going to get for me? Without you even coming to the table with what you going to do. Like, you ain't even offering up no kind of, you know what I mean, services, no kind of, you know, that's crazy to me. You done dug so deep in your you know, misuse, dug yourself so deep in not taking care of your body. You know what I mean? You overweight. You not even, you know, you get what I'm saying? Time just ticks on that whole can't do bullshit. Time just ticks. It'll hit you at all different angles. Doors close. Your body fails. All kind of shit. That's crazy to me. And then still have the nerves, to have that can't do, won't do, fuck everybody spirit. And you're poisoning the youth. Because the youth sees that. You know what I mean? The young ones, the young bulls, the young ladies see that. They see that, man. They see that, and they see that, and you It's like, why are you planting that seed, man? Why are you planting that bullshit, man? It should be more damn, my doors done closed on me. Damn, man, opportunities done, exhausted out of my, you know what I mean? My dreams done went by the wayside, fell by the wayside. Let me give you the game. Even if you ain't got the money, because obviously you probably living paycheck to paycheck, or you on Social Security, you know what I mean? Like, we already know how that story goes. So, you'll see the young brother or the young sister celebrating, you come to the barbecue, they celebrating a graduation or what have you. This person just got their master's, you know what I mean, they BA or whatever, and, you come to the barbecue with an energy of, damn, I wish. You ever hear, speaking of this, you ever been around people that you tell them something or you show them something and they'll be like, damn, I wish I had me that. I wish I could do that. And it's like, man, if that ain't a backhand, that shit is so deflating. Like, you immediately just be like, all right, then I'll holler at you. That's what I've had to learn to do. All right, then I'll holler at you. You know what I mean? Knowing damn well, like, you couldn't, like, they were the reason, because you're not even a label junkie. You're not even a slave to the labels. But you are a person that works hard for what you get, what you do, what you accomplish, and the people that matter, it matters to you, if that makes sense. It matters to you only for the people that matter to you to see it, if that makes sense. Like, for example, me, I can say that about my truck. You know what I mean? It's a work truck that I had bought, and since then I've bought 3 of them. But when I first got one, and I had been, I had my mind set on it for, I can say, at least 10 years. That was my window. That was my window. Of course, if you get it less than that, it is what it is. But I can say that I did it in 10 years exactly how, and it came on perfect timing. That's another thing. I trust in the Most High to, supply what I need, supply me and my family what we need. That's what I've been taught. That no, I ain't about to, jump the line. I'm not about to break myself. I'm not about to take from this just to get that. And hell no, fuck no. If I can't get it right now without it ruffling everything else, disrupting anything else, I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need it. If going here, if going there is gonna be taken away from what's already, you know what I mean, allotted, nah, man, I'm not. We don't need to go there then. It ain't in the plan. It ain't in the, you know what I mean? It's not perfect timing. It's not my time. So, but yeah, you you talking to somebody, but anyway, yeah, like I was saying, yeah, my truck, boom, like I said, since then I got 3 of them, and the first one I was like, oh, okay. Like, I couldn't wait to get me a pickup truck. And any man or any entrepreneur understands this, getting a truck, period, that's more money. You know what I'm saying? That's more opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just about, the vanity. You see what I mean? It's not about how your shit look or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's not about that. But although mine is nice, but anyway, because you like nice shit. You get what you want. I'm never gonna tell somebody not to get what they, get what they like. Just don't break yourself to get it. If it ain't the time to get it, don't get it. Like, you know what I mean? But anyway, fucking boom, I pull up and you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference. I don't know about you whenever you, like, somebody see you say in one type of uniform, like say your work clothes, like with me it'd be construction. They see me, you know what I mean, booted up. You know, women, a lot of women respect seeing a man in work clothes, you know. Oh damn, you know what I mean? They be like, oh that, you know, you looking real good, you know, all that. And then they also appreciate you when you clean up. They're like, wow, you know what I mean? Because they know you get down and dirty. But anyway, boom, you know what? Not all people when you pop up, you know, clean and, you know, you know what I mean? You got your shit together, man. You got your shit together. Not all people will receive that well, man. Not all people will receive that well. And the thing about it is, I don't even come in the spirit with my nose tooted up, looking down. If anything, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I hate attention, bruh. I've always hated attention. Like on the first day of school and you got the hottest, you know what I mean? You got the new J's. Everybody want it, you know what I mean? Everybody want it. You know, or you got the new bubble coat. You know, in my generation it was first downs and shit like that. You know what I mean? The new the Nietzsche, the new, you know what I mean? You got new shit. And you know, not everybody is blessed to have that, you know, or have their parents to get that for you, or however it go. You know what I mean? You pop up and it's automatically hate. Automatically. Damn, I wish those is nice. Oh, you know, throw out little backhand jokes like, when you done with them, when you done with my sneak, you know what I mean? When you done with my sneaks, man, you can drop them off at my, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know what I mean? like I let you share, oh, we sharing those, and, you know, throwing little backhand jokes, and those is hate. That's hate, right? And it's not motherfuckers. See what I mean? You gotta watch out for that. You know, you gotta watch out for shit like that. And I could say that's what happened with my truck when I pulled up. Like, motherfuckers is instantly on some, you know, backhand jokes and, you know what I mean? Like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, this is a crazy one to me, is when somebody asks you, damn, how was you able to do that? You know what I mean? Like as if they need to know the play-by-play. And little do they know, if you did give them the fucking play, they would have discouraged you. If you did give them the step-by-step of you know, you making these moves to you know, on your whole play that you're doing, they would be on they doubting shit. So when you pop up with the actual tangible, or pop up with the actual results, you know what I'm saying? You show them results. Motherfuckers is still on that, but at least, man, we done followed through. We done followed through, and you done learned the lesson that, oh man, keeping that motherfucker out of my shit or staying away from them motherfuckers, that was beneficial. That was beneficial. And like I said, you be thinking that you know, you want to share that with the loved one, because it only matters with the loved one. You know what I mean? It matters with you, and it matters with the loved one, that, you know, y'all in the mud together. Y'all in the mud together, and you thinking that we just going to, you know, I've had plenty of situations like that. Rest in peace to my brother. This is the only one that used to do this to me, and this was like, this is just authentic love. Like, I'll pop up in a new Impala, right? I popped up in a new Impala as a young boy, you know what I mean? Boom. He's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, we all out in the parking lot, you know what I mean? We all in the street with it, you know what I'm saying? He walk around, look at the wheels, all that shit, you know, look, you know how we do. And I do the same thing with him. I done the same thing with him. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, we was in positions where I did it for him before I was even able to do it in reverse. Like, pop up with my own shit. I seen him pop up with shit, and I'm like, man, I'm celebrating like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? No matter how I felt in my day, if that makes sense. That's what, to me, the true definition of celebration is. It's like, man, pop up and pull your people out. Let's all, you know what I mean? Pull your people up. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what's going on in that room. You don't know what's going on in that room. Who's going through what? You know what I mean? You pop up with like in the people that are going through whatever, they need to, you know what I mean? You need to put your pride to the side and your bullshit to the side and actually promote, hey, I'm going, I'm going to let this work through me. Meaning, because that's what it's designed to do, man. God allows your person to break out, get successful or whatever, and then pop up. Like, and of course, he's got to practice staying grounded, like not trying to floss and flaunt on nobody, be steak on the stick to nobody. And then you got to practice, receiving him, like on some shit like, hey, man, we happy as fuck for you, man. You know what I mean? That's what's up. That's fire. You know what I mean? We gonna keep this going type shit instead of, this nigga think he all that, or she think he all that, or you got niggas way in the cut, waiting to, you know what I mean, catch you slipping like Young Dolph. Corny ass shit, right? Corny. Way corny, or Nipsey, rest in peace. Like, that's wild. That's wild as fuck. That's wild as shit, man. Little dusty ass nigga is waiting, you know what I mean? Knowing damn well this nigga, if it was that deep, like this motherfucker would go to the bank account and be like, man, I'm gonna put you on your feet, man. What you know how to do, you know how to make flyers? Cool. I'm gonna put you through a class. And now you're gonna learn how to do more than flyers. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go down here to this institution, to this college, and learn how to run this app. You know what I mean? Learn how to do some layering, learn how to do some gradients, and you know what I mean? Sharpen your skills further than just your hobby. We're gonna put you on the market. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't even be understanding that type of vision. They don't be understanding that type of vision. Like, I could say growing up, I would have different old heads come and challenge me on the court. It ain't the same ones as the ones that are, the little bums, the little drunks or whatever, the heads or, the gang members that come on the court or the field, let me see the ball, you know what I mean? And they do they 1-2, and you ain't gonna shit on them. They just know that, yeah, you know what I mean? You ain't on this level, nigga, you know what I mean? But you ain't gonna shit on them. You let them do their little 1-2, right? And that comes and goes. But then you had the ones that actually come there and be like, man, work on your left. You know what I mean? Work on your left, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna teach you how to work on your left. Hold this arm, tie this arm behind your back, or put this hand in your pocket and just work on your left. Just do that for hours. You know what I mean? Don't you know what I mean? Don't even pull that hand out. Just use your left. You see what I mean? It's just be shit like that is priceless, but so valuable. You see what I mean? Valuable, priceless. His time done came and went. He already understand that. He won state back in '89. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? He got his picture up at the pizza shop at the corner store in the hood. His time came and went. He understand that his time came and went. His level, he reached a certain level and he couldn't go past it. So he gonna, he got what it takes. He know what it feel like. You at the level right now where, you can win state. You also at the level right now that you got more opportunities than him. So he see that. So he pour into that young brother. You know what I mean? Every time he see you out there, because he see you out there all the time. That's how this interaction started. He seen you banging at 5'7". He seen you banging at 5'7". You up here dunking at 5'7". You know what I mean? Like, whoa. Like, this nigga got hops. You know what I mean? And it's effortless. He see you out there shitting on everybody in the neighborhood. He see the motherfuckers hating on you. You know what I mean? He actually looking out further than basketball. Real shit. Or football. He looking out further than all that shit. He say hello to your moms. You know what I mean? Let your moms know. Let your moms or your pops know that, hey, man, anything y'all need, I got it. You know what I mean? If I got it, you got it type shit. Like, that needs to be promoted more. I don't know. Like, when I think of that story, that's your LeBron story. You see what I mean? That's your KD story. A lot of people don't, really talk about that, but that's those stories, and it's a lot of us like that. A lot, like the transaction. You know what I mean? The progress didn't go as far, but that's how it goes, just like that, just like that. You know what I'm saying? The gang members, everything, all in that same environment. You know what I mean? But you got your policemen, you got your firemen, you got your, you know what I mean, your trash truck drivers, you got your grocery store workers, your corporate dudes, all in the black community, all black, everybody black. You know what I'm saying? And you as the youth, the young lady or the young man is coming up. You the new blood. You the new, you know what I mean? It should be on some shit like everybody should be behind that. Like, hey man, let's get him there and let's get him there. Or you think of your D Roses, yeah, D Rose for sure. That's one of my favorite players for sure, D Rose. Like that's that's what needs to be promoted more as opposed to, and then like I said, I'm not targeting just the old heads, but the old heads fit in this slot, the can't do's, the doubters, you know what I mean? And it pours into the youth and they become a young can't do, a doubter, or discouragement, to the point where they go the easy route. A lot of people don't tell you that the streets is the easy route. That shit is easy. You know what I mean? That shit is easy as fuck. But the hardest part for a street nigga is when they got to be away from their drugs or they vice. You know what I'm saying? They got to actually sit in a pen or a county jail with no weapon to protect them. Now they got to actually, get some meat on their bones, get some strength on their, you know what I mean? Build up their physique just so they can protect themselves. But other than that, yeah, all that degenerate shit is easy. This society, the white supremacist society teaches you that. They'll teach you their culture. If you was to dissect their culture, all that shit is easy. It's backhand shit, it's deceitfulness, it's all lies. All the wrong way, the dirty way is always the easy way. It's always the fucking easy way. The cheater, that's the easy way. The nigga that or the young lady that the young man or the young lady that puts their head down and all right y'all, I'm gonna holler at y'all. They go home and they get on their studies. You know what I mean? They working on their project or like they'll come to the party but they'll just pop in and pop out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like you can see the difference. I know everybody can relate to this. You see the difference. A lot of times the can't do's and the won't do's and the doubters and the discouragers will try to peer pressure them niggas, throwing all kind of labels on them. Oh, you pussy, you scary, you this and that. And then here time passes, right? Time passes and them niggas is like 25, 22, 30, what have you. And what the fuck are they doing? They walking up and you see them walking down the street. You know what I mean? Walking down the street with a V-neck hanging off, you know what I mean? Hair not done, on slippers, pajama pants. You see them not even giving a fuck about it. Like, damn, that was the same nigga that used to rock J's and, obviously he was getting all that from his people. And then they had to cut the lifeline off once he got out of school, or once she got out of school. They had to cut that lifeline the fuck off. You know what I mean? Because they wasn't about nothing. You know what I mean? And they ain't raised that. They was shown that a lot of these nothing ass niggas and shit come from people that was actually something. Like, you know what I mean? Come from actual fathers and mothers that get it in, that have a stable foundation, built a stable foundation and everything for them. They passed the torch to them. They ain't want it. They ain't want it. That's crazy to me. Then of course you had an equation where the mothers and the fathers wasn't in right position. The father wasn't there. That's the often common narrative, right? The father wasn't there, which we've debunked that now. That okay, they had a whole damn COINTELPRO towards it. The crazy shit, right? Even through all the obstacles and barriers and banana peels and fucking spikes in the road that we get thrown at us, we still prevail. You know what I mean? We still prevail. But yeah, man, like my whole point of speaking on this live about this topic is with the can'ts, the can't do's, the doubters, the discouragements, the will nots, the haters, the naysayers, the how that's gonna work, all them. If you're gonna be like that, if you're gonna be like that, 9 times out of 10, you got somebody around you that is not like you. At least, the least you can do, is get behind their cause. Jump on their ladder, you heard me? And not on no trying to bring it down shit. Not on no trying to destroy them, which I know this is very hard for you to do because you're a can't do. You don't have a bone in your body that says you can do what you know what I mean? So I'm just saying this is a challenge for you to challenge yourself to do that for the team. Do that for the team, do that for the home base, do that for the big picture. Do that for the big picture. You're at the table, you ain't bring nothing to the table, but they bringing something to the table, you laughing and giggling, you on your normal type of time, you're doubting and shit. Try to suppress that. Try to, lessen that type of energy around the person because you're not going. It's not going to be. It's going to be a time where they're going to remove themselves from you. They're going to remove themselves from you, and you already know how that narrative go. That narrative go. You going to be stuck where you at. Now you got more fuel to your fire because you're going to just talk about them like a dog, even like you was doing when they was pulling themselves up, and you wasn't trying to get down with it. But so at the end of the day, what does it do for you? What does it do for anybody? Absolutely nothing.